It goes without saying that the Mahdi is one of the signs of the Day of Judgment. And the Prophet ﷺ told us that the Day of Judgment will not come until many things have occurred. And he categorized the signs of the Day of Judgment into major and minor. And he said there are 10 major signs, which means all of the rest of the signs are minor signs. So the signs of the Day of Judgment are categorized into two categories: the Ashrat al-Sughra, or the minor signs, and the Ashrat al-Kubra, or the major signs. And these two are different in the sense that, firstly, the minor signs, typically they are not one incident, they are a trend. So of the minor signs, ignorance shall prevail, knowledge shall be lifted, ulama shall become less, women shall be more than men, zina shall increase, music shall increase. These are trends. It's not one incident, generally speaking. Whereas the major signs, all of them, one incident: the coming of the Dajjal, the coming of Isa. Okay, 3 major earthquakes that will shake the entire earth, so on and so forth. Very specific. Another difference is that the minor signs started with the coming of the Prophet ﷺ. The first of the signs of the Day of Judgment is the coming of the Prophet ﷺ. By his coming, the Day of Judgment, the signal, the clock begins ticking, if you like. By his coming, this is the first of the minor signs. And the minor signs will continue throughout all of the centuries of Islam. Whereas the major signs, they will only occur right before the Day of Judgment. The Prophet ﷺ said that these 10 signs, when any one of them happens, the other 9 will follow one after the other, quickly. Unlike the minor signs, they will take hundreds of years. They will take thousands of years. Since the coming of the Prophet ﷺ, 14 centuries have gone by. And we are still, many of them have not been met. So we are still, Allah knows how far from the Day of Judgment. This is not the case with the major signs. As soon as any major sign comes, the rest of the 9 will come, one after the other. So the Mahdi is the link between the minor and the major signs. The coming of the Mahdi is the last of the minor signs and the beginning of the major signs. Therefore, it is very interesting and important for us to fully understand the concept of the Mahdi. Because the Mahdi, in his lifetime, he will be alive when the first of these 10 major signs begins. Therefore, the coming of the Mahdi will signal. What will it signal? The beginning of the 10 signs. Even though the Mahdi himself is not of the 10 signs. The Mahdi himself is not of the 10 signs. But the Mahdi will be alive when Dajjal will come. And that is the first of the 10 signs. And the Mahdi will be alive when Isa ibn Maryam will come. And that is another of the 10 signs. And so on and so forth. So whenever the Mahdi comes, this is a sign that within a short period of time, all of these 10 signs will appear, and the Day of Judgment is literally around the corner. So what is this Mahdi? What is the meaning of the word Mahdi? And who is the Mahdi? The Mahdi is not his name, it is his title. It is not his proper name, it is a title, and it is a description. And it comes from the root huda or hada, which means to guide, the opposite of dalala. So the Mahdi means the one who is guided. The Mahdi means the one who is guided, and also the one who will guide others. And it does not appear in the Quran in this form. However, it appears in other forms. وَمَنْ يَهْدِ اللَّهُ فَهُوَ الْمُهْتَدِي. Muhtadi appears. The word Mahdi does not appear in the Quran. However, it appears in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Also, the Prophet ﷺ described the Khulafa as being Mahdi. He said, follow the Sunnah of the Khulafa al-Rashideen al-Mahdiyeen min ba'di. So he described linguistically the 4 Khulafa as being Mahdi, meaning they are rightly guided. They are guided, and if you follow them, you also will be guided. So he linguistically used the word Mahdi to describe the 4 Khulafa, even though they are not the Mahdi. There is one Mahdi with a capital M. There are many small Mahdis, in the sense many people who are rightly guided. And we all make dua that Allah makes us amongst the Muhtadi. Allah makes us amongst those who are guided. So in one sense, we should all want to be a Mahdi. But the Mahdi, that is one character, that is the character. But in one sense, linguistically, we should all make dua to Allah that Allah make us amongst those who are guided. So the Mahdi is his title. What is his name? The Prophet ﷺ said, if there were only one day left of this world before the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would make that day long. He would stretch it out until Allah sends a person from my progeny. Allah sends a person from my Ahl al-Bayt. His name shall be my name, and his father's name shall be my father's name. Therefore the name of the Mahdi will be Muhammad, and his father's name will be Abdullah. So the Mahdi will be Muhammad ibn Abdullah. His name will be my name, and his father's name will be my father's name. He shall fill the earth with justice as it was filled with dhulm and injustice. So in this hadith, which is reported in Abu Dawud, and by the way, all of the hadith I'm going to quote today, the scholars of hadith, in particular Ibn Hajar and Shaykh al-Albani, rahimahumullah ta'ala, they have declared them to be authentic. So in this hadith of Abu Dawud, the Prophet ﷺ gave us a number of characteristics. Firstly, he said if there was only one day left, Allah would make it longer until the Mahdi is sent. Who can tell me what is the point of mentioning this? What does it mean if there was only one day left, the day will be made longer? Can anybody guess or fathom what is the meaning of this? Why is the Prophet ﷺ saying this? If there's only one day left, Allah will make it longer until the Mahdi comes. Of the 10 signs, any more guesses? Yes. The significance of the Mahdi. The significance of the Mahdi. That the coming of the Mahdi is so important, the Day of Judgment will not occur until the Mahdi comes. This is the meaning. That's what the Prophet ﷺ is saying. The Day of Judgment cannot occur until the Mahdi comes. So this is the first point of the hadith. The second point, his name and his father's name. So the Mahdi will be called Muhammad ibn Abdullah, which means that there will be a person by the name of Abdullah. He will give birth to a child and he will call this child Muhammad. It does not mean that when a person becomes old and his name is Mustafa, he changes his name and goes, oh, I think I should be called Muhammad. Anybody who does this cannot be the Mahdi. It means when the child is born, he shall be given the name Muhammad. And when his father was born, his father had given him the name Abdullah. Names given at childbirth. Muhammad ibn Abdullah. Why do I say this? Because in the history of the Ummah, there have been over 30 people who claim to be Mahdi. Over 30. This guy Juhayman was no original character. He was following many other people before him. Okay? Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the one that he declared to be a Mahdi, was not the first person. Many were the people who declared to be the Mahdi. The majority of them were not called Muhammad. They were born with another name. When they became powerful and they're about to become famous, or they are famous, they want to call themselves Mahdi, they changed their name to Muhammad. And they say, my name is now Muhammad, I'm the Mahdi. It doesn't work that way. You have to be born with Muhammad and your father has to be born with Abdullah. This is the second point, his name. The third point, his lineage. He shall be from the Ahlul Bayt. He must be from the tribe of Quraysh, from the Banu Hashim, from the descendants of the Prophet ﷺ through Fatima and Ali. This is the Ahlul Bayt that are remaining. So the Ahlul Bayt, he must be from them. And the fourth characteristic that's mentioned in this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that he shall fill the earth with justice as it was filled with injustice. This means that the Mahdi will come at a time when the earth is filled with evil, when there is much dhulm and fasad, when there is much fitna, when there is much blood being shed. And he shall come, and in his lifetime, through his hands, Allah Azza wa Jal will change the course of history. Instead of the earth being a place of evil, it shall become a place of good. This is another characteristic of the Mahdi. Now, the question arises, will the Mahdi be from the children of Al-Hasan or the children of Al-Husayn? Because Fatima radiallahu anha only had 2 children, that is it. Hasan and Husayn radiallahu anhuma. She had no other children.